We worked on this really for about the last 18 months of representative workforce programming, and we had developed, in consultation far and wide within the health sector, we had developed a really sketchy kind of broad-based 10-year plan, but primarily we had developed a 3-year plan, strategic plan, that would have carried us into the future. There was 4 components to that strategic plan that I think would have taken the Aboriginal awareness to its next level, because there was a lot of feedback that said, what's next? What's next? What more can we learn? How do we, what else is there that we can learn about this topic so that we can inform ourselves? Lots from non-Aboriginal people, most from non-Aboriginal people, by the way. So we wanted to look at the whole education and wellness side. How do we keep ourselves healthy? How do we keep the workplace healthy? How do we make it healthy and safe for everybody, and in particular for Aboriginal people? So how then do we enhance and build next on the education and training program, the awareness programs that we want to do, that we wanted to do, and we had a lot of ideas in that area. Another section of it, of course, was to get back to the roots of representative workforce, to get back to those partnerships that had kind of withered away, to maybe develop some new ones, go back to, we had an idea of building and creating an elders council to advise representative workforce into the future, for example. Not new ideas, but coming back and revisiting those ideas and really acting on them. So building partnerships far and, much broader than just, not just, but an elders council. Another one was that, in following through on the accountability part, that we had systems built that could do some of that, heaven forbid, numbers stuff, that numbers crunching, that I don't care where you are and how many people you've convinced, that quantitative stuff seems to rule the day. At the same time, though, we didn't want that to dominate our strategy, so we built in some ideas regarding how do we quantify this? How do we get stories, and how do we look at those kinds of things? Like, how many partnerships do we have? Who's involved in this? How many people are involved in support? Anyways, and these are not in any particular order. It was really sad. We did so much work on that, consulted far and wide, got the endorsement of the SAHO executive, took it to higher level bodies within the health sector, and it was there that I think, I don't know what happened. I don't know if this 3-year strategy became threatening. I don't know if there's some other agenda out there. I really honestly don't know, and am struggling with this as to what happened between what appeared to be an endorsed, supported future, and all of a sudden we're gone. It's a sad day, and I think that it's a demoral, and I think I have to agree with some other speakers. I think it's immoral what happened. And so I don't want to end my statement on such a sad note, but that's another contextual thing that I think people need to know, that there is a plan. There was a plan, that it's basically disappeared. Oh, another huge partnership was, of course, rebuilding with labor so that we can move forward onto the next steps with them as well. So I don't think that couldn't have happened without a provincial structure. If that was happening locally in a very decentralized manner, it wouldn't have happened. So I think that's a key thing that we need to recognize, is that there needs to be some sort of provincial or leadership body that can coordinate and organize and lead and contain consistency, and to move whatever it is that we decide to do, but to move it forward. Thanks for your time.
Thank you.
If there's anything to do with the partnerships that were created, it's like, what's the leverage if one or some small group would take on kind of at least contacting those partner employers? And is there some way to kind of use that as a starting point? I don't know if some of those employers might say something to the provincial government or not, or there might be some kind of a strategy that could be developed coming from existing partners.
I can't speak for all of government or anything. My name is Ron Knaus. I work with the Ministry of Health, but and I've had an opportunity to work with Victoria and with Susan in the past, and Larry, you and I have been at meetings as well, and I've been at presentations that Wayne has done, and he always captures my attention, and I really find him as to be a great motivational speaker. So. I know in terms of the regional health authorities, and I'm not going to suggest that, you know, sort of losing the resources that we had at SAHO, you know, was something that we can sort of replace. But I do know that, you know, the accountability document that the Ministry of Health has with the regional health authorities does include, in last year's accountability document, one of the expectations was that the boards have to, in fact, develop and submit to the ministry board-approved representative workforce strategies. And I suspect that some of those likely were used as part of building the provincial strategy that Diane made reference to. The expectation is still within the accountability document with the health regions that they set targets based on the strategies that they have developed, and that they begin implementing and measuring progress against them. So there are, you know, I think the partnerships that were built with those employers, I'm hoping that there's been enough momentum that they will, you know, that they will continue with the inertia that was there, and they will continue moving forward. I know I saw a copy of correspondence that SAHO had sent looking for funding to try to, in fact, use some of the representative workforce model that they had and expand it to others, and that didn't necessarily happen. But you know, I think some of the awareness training, I know health regions, you know, and the question that I have is, without SAHO, how do we maintain sort of that resource? But I know lots of the health regions have actually built that training into the orientations. You know, so there were a large number of people that received that training in the workforce initially, and many of the regions are now trying to capture new employees coming in, and they're doing that through their orientation program. But, you know, I guess in terms of sort of some of the partnership, I think there are some things that hopefully we can continue. One of my responsibilities right now is trying to build a 10-year HHR plan. Certainly a representative workforce will be a component of that. That was one of the reasons why I came to the session today, was to sort of listen to the discussion, and, you know, if I can, I'd like to get Doreen and Wayne's and Victoria's contact information, so that I might be able to sort of bounce some things off them sort of on a go-forward basis as well. So, but I just thought I would sort of let people in the room know, sort of in terms of the health sector. I mean, we're only one sector, but certainly the partnerships sort of that were built by Victoria and Wayne, and sort of Susan was her work sort of with SAHO. Certainly, I think there's a certain inertia there that will maintain it, and if we can kind of build on it, certainly I would hope that we can do that. But
thank you all very much for coming. It's been a good day.